home that you can't really see from this vantage point, kind of on the left-hand side of your screen. They are working as fast as they can right now because of the proximity to houses in El Dorado County.
So an evacuation warning is now in effect. Now this is just south of Highway 50. It is on the eastern side of downtown Shingle Springs, and this is a remote area. I'm looking at a map right here that shows me we have 3 air tankers right now over this fire, which has burned approximately 23 acres according to the last update from CAL FIRE. But we do have a very specific area. We are putting information on the screen that involves all of the evacuation warnings for this area. We want to get on over to Heather Waldman right now, taking a look at the conditions.
Yeah, fortunately the winds today are light. I want to purposely take a wide view of the fire just so you can see the plume of smoke. I took this snapshot from a camera to the south of the fire along Highway 49. We're looking to the north, and what I want to point out is the smoke is lifting directly above the fire. It's not being pushed in any one particular direction. So those lighter winds, well, it's good news for those helicopters that are out there doing water drops. I'm assuming they're going to get some fixed wing aircraft in there doing some retardant drops as well. With light winds, they can more easily kind of get lines around the fire. But you saw from that initial video a lot of different types of fuels out there. There are homes, but there's a lot of wide open space, a lot of grasses, a lot of brush, and some bigger trees as well. And of course, we haven't seen rain in a couple of months at this point, so those fuels are all dry and they're all burning fairly easily. So here's a better idea of where we believe the fire started. This is Bonanza Road, or Bonanza Auto Road right here. The fire started somewhere near the southern edge of the road. Bonanza Auto Road comes right off of Old Frenchtown Road. This is to the east of sort of the heart of Shingle Springs. So here's the broader view, so you can see Shingle Springs is over here, Highway 50 up here to the north. This is Motherlode Drive to the north of the fire. Winds, again, relatively light, but some of that smoke may be drifting a little bit to the south and east. We're going to keep an eye on the air quality later this evening as temperatures drop and some of that smoke starts to settle closer to the ground. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you so much. So the last word that we got from CAL FIRE, from their incident page, they're saying this is about a 23-acre fire right now, but of course that 25 acres in size, but of course that can change. Again, there is an evacuation warning for Chablis Drive and Lumbo Road, and here is a map to give you a better idea of where the areas they're asking people to leave right now if they can. And we just know from historically speaking, when we have fires in this area, they can move quickly, even though, as Heather pointed out, the winds aren't bad and that smoke is going straight up into the air. So that is the positive sign in all of this, but things can quickly change, and there's just so much dry grass and ground to burn in this particular area. Also, there are a lot of just, one-lane roads, and it takes a long time to get out of somewhere, so you don't want to wait until the last minute. We've learned that time and time again with the Caldor fire, even most recently, that you really just need to get out even when they're just putting a warning in effect. Because if you wait until there's an order, it may be too late. And then also you're congesting those very, very small roads that we have in this part of El Dorado County.
Yeah, this is right in between Shingle Springs and El Dorado. And I will tell you, over the last several years, we have had fires that have popped up. In this particular area, it is country. We do have a lot of homes that are just spread throughout the area. It's country land with homes here and there, but there is a very specific area right now where there is an evacuation warning. The good news is we don't have those gusty winds, as Lisa and Heather have been talking about. But nonetheless, any fire popping up in your area is not a good thing. And so if you're in this particular area, there is that evacuation warning, and you should get out of the area right now. Again, we are scrolling those streets in the bottom of your screen.
And let's go back to our Alert California video that we have. Oh, here actually, before we do that, there's a highlighted area, and it looks like that's the area where they would like people to leave right now. They're saying, hey, right now would be a good time to get everything together, get your animals together, livestock if you have livestock, and please leave if you possibly can. You can see the aircraft that they have helping to fight this fire. If we could go back to our time-lapse video that we have, I want you to see something. Curtis, if you look on the left-hand side, the left third of the screen, right in the middle, that's where you'll see that there's a home. Yeah. And it looked like they actually were able to save the home, but you just see how close it is to that one particular residence where they do have a good defensible space, but when you've still got dry ground out there and it starts to get really, really hot, defensible space isn't really going to even help you at that situation.
So the evacuation warning area we're talking about, I'm going to name some of the streets that are in this area, but this is Bumper Road. This is close to Big Canyon Creek. We also have these other streets of Wind Road and Dinky Lane, as well as sections of China Hill Road. And, you know, these people in this area, they have been evacuated before. This is an area that has had fires. On the west side of the evacuation warning area, we have Chablis Drive. And so it is a very concentrated area, not all that large of an area involved in the evacuation warning right now, but nonetheless, the folks in that area should try to get out of that area as firefighters work to get containment on this fire.
Well, and I think that people who live in this part of our foothill region are very familiar with this, and I think if we all learned anything, especially from the Caldor fire, that it is better to just leave when there's a warning and not wait. My dad was personally one of them that waited around in the Grizzly Flats situation, in the Grizzly Flats area, and then he had to, you know, get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and try and, you know, when you're trying to evacuate and it's dark out and there are no street lights and there are, you know, there's no light and it is a different level of dark there in the foothills, it makes it extremely difficult. So it's better to just do it now when you can do so in a very calm manner where you have daylight still and you can get out of the emergency personnel and the firefighting personnel and you can get out of their way and just let them do their job, because, you know, they could just keep it to this very small 25 acres. When I say small, relatively speaking, 25 acres.
And let's hope that they do. We want to give you a closer look at the evacuations right now. So it's the yellow here. This shows that there is a warning. Again, this is in a country area that's south of Highway 50. It is east of downtown Shingle Springs. It's southwest of Diamond Springs. But you could see as we zoom in here, the particular streets that are impacted. You know, it's here in the foothills. We do have some rolling hills throughout this area. We do have a lot of dry brush, a lot of things that can burn. We are at the start of the fire season as this area has just started to dry out, and so often the fire is carried by whatever direction the wind blows, and so firefighters right now working as hard as they can to try to get containment on this. I'm counting from the latest information right here from CAL FIRE that we have 3 air tankers that are working on this right now, that are just going back and forth over this evacuation area, dropping retardant, doing what they can to slow the spread and try to get a line around this fire.
And so stay with KCRA3 and the KCRA3 app for any updates, because we'll continue to follow this. We've got KCRA3's Peyton Headley headed to the scene right now. I know we've got Live Copter 3 also headed to the scene right now, and we're going to get as close as possible to give you, you know, the most accurate and up-to-date information as we possibly can. And like we said, hopefully with the winds really cooperating, so to speak, as good as winds can possibly be in terms of not really strong, we'll be able to keep it in this area. Now, there are some homes where this is burning, but there aren't a lot. I mean, they're just kind of, you know, dotted. I would say, you know, less than 5, fewer than 5 homes in this area. I counted maybe 5 or 6. But, you know, there are much more denser populated areas not too far from here. You know, you mentioned Diamond Springs and that sort of thing. So hopefully they'll be able to just keep it to this 25 acres that we're seeing burn right now. And again, this time-lapse video coming from our alert camera, our California alert camera.